On today's episode, we talk Shopify.
So, so 2 months from launch. Is it 2 months? About 2 months.
2 months.
We decided. Well, we actually knew that we're gonna start creating the website. Being programmers, we left that for last because that's kind of the thing we have the most control with, the most experience with, and we're gonna start doing that next month. We're gonna start setting that up. We don't have the products yet, but we can still create a nice web page as a landing page.
And we're going to do this with Shopify.
We're going to use Shopify for that.
Why would we use Shopify before we actually have products to show to the world? Why would we start the website before we actually are ready to sell?
Yeah, so currently it's quite a shame what kind of a website we have, because it's just like one paragraph of text with all the social icons. But we need to change that. We need to make a proper landing page, and we need to add an email input address so we can start gathering some emails. Also, the other thing is that having so many channels of content, it makes sense to have
Right.
our own platform where we can start uploading all of these different mediums.
So
like
just have a hub.
have a hub on the internet. I think it's about time we do that.
Yeah, because we do blogs on a separate platform. Video is scattered on YouTube and on Facebook. And we have a podcast as well. We have a podcast that's on SoundCloud or any player, but it's very hard to point people to one place where they can find everything.
Exactly, and we need that. I think it's about time we do that. We make that place.
You mentioned email. Why is it so important from the very beginning to start collecting emails?
Well, it's one of the most valuable marketing
Right.
assets, right? Having a big email list. It's also one of the things that you have most control, given that all these platforms they can change stuff, but as long as you have some emails, you can reach people directly.
Yep.
Which will be very beneficial when we start having some products to ship out.
Yeah, I think this integrates well with Facebook as well, because Facebook, you can upload the list of emails and it finds what it's calling lookalike audiences. These are audiences or people who actually match or have a similar profile to those who have already subscribed or are on your list. And this brings us to the next point. So once we have this initial pre-launch phase where we try to collect some leads and some interest, then we're gonna have the products hopefully in September, and we're gonna roll out the actual Shopify store. Why would we choose Shopify in general as a platform for this case?
Yep. So we have a kind of an advantage because I currently use Shopify in my workplace.
In-house Shopify expert.
Well, yeah, kind of. But anyways, I've seen kind of all the advantages and disadvantages of using it. I think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages by quite a bit.
Give us the main advantages of using a Shopify platform instead of something else or even coding one ourselves.
Yeah, it's gonna save us time, so we don't have to code it. We can just input all the product and then focus on the business aspect of running that business. So that's one. Second of all, there's a lot of apps, so the whole app ecosystem around Shopify. That's gonna enable us to have all these different functionalities that we can just add with a click of a button instead of coding it.
Okay.
Again, saving time on the
Super
development
easy.
part and focusing that somewhere else. There's also quite a lot of integrations that Shopify does, so we can sell on Facebook, we can sell on Facebook Messenger, we can go on Amazon, we can even go if we enter a store, we have a product in some store somewhere.
Right.
We can go to the POS terminal of that store, still connected to the Shopify
Okay.
ecosystem, so we can keep the inventory kind of in sync on all different platforms.
And you mentioned Amazon. How does the integration with Amazon work? Because basically you're probably doing two competing platforms, or you're putting your product in two places. So what's the advantage of integrating with Amazon?
Well, that's if we decide to use Amazon as a marketplace. So that integrates very nicely and easily with Amazon if we decide to sell on Amazon as well. But if we don't decide to sell on Amazon but still use Amazon's fulfillment service, that's another thing that's very nicely synced with Shopify, and we can use that. So basically, the most important thing is having one source of truth when it comes to inventory wise.
Right.
So we know how much inventory you have, and then selling on all the different channels, they need to sync up to one place.
Mm-hmm.
So we know how much we have and what we need to reorder. stuff like that.
Great. So we have ease of use, we have apps, we have integrations. What are probably some disadvantages of Shopify, if you've met any so far?
Well, it's being a built solution, we don't have complete control over that.
Right.
But I think it's just we have enough control that we will need. Basically, we don't need that much in the beginning.
Cool.
And we can always, of course, if we input all the products, we have all the data in there. If at some point we decide to go with another solution, we can just extract all that data and just plug it in somewhere else.
It's pretty cool. And also Shopify is quite cost effective, to be honest, because I think the package that you start with is about 30 euros per month, or $30. And if you actually think about the price of hosting every month for secure, for having a certificate and secure hosting as well, it kind of adds up. But I wonder, you have experience with Shopify payments as well.
That's a good point,
Does Shopify provide out-of-the-box payment system, or do you have to use a third-party plugin?
Yeah, it's a very good point actually. So basically, you can choose a service to take all your credit card payments. So, for example, in my work, we use Stripe. I think you have another option.
Which Stripe is an external plugin.
Yeah,
it's
and you
not
have
built
to
by
use an
Shopify.
external. Yeah, you have to use an external supplier that takes care of the transactions. So in that case, it's probably going to be Stripe, which takes care of all the credit card transactions.
And how much does that cost?
I think it's they take 2% per transaction.
Okay.
Which is kind of the normal average rate that everyone takes, like PayPal and stuff like that.
Which is very reasonable, actually, because you don't have to build a portal on your own. And building us working already in this field, I worked in an e-commerce company before, and building a payment platform is really, it's a huge responsibility as well. Because you have to protect credit card data and personal information, which we don't really want to touch it. So 2%, I think, is a price we're more than happy to pay.
Yeah, and then we can also add Amazon Pay, Apple Pay, just click of a button, PayPal.
That's
if we
amazing.
Need that. So again, just saving time on developing something ourselves, which we can do, but it just doesn't make sense to do it at this point.
Great. Well, these are some of the things that we really had to consider before we made our choice, and we are just a few days away from subscribing ourselves for Shopify and opening the very first version of our website. You can still go to wheredulo.com, but as we just mentioned, it's just a simple landing page.
It's not that nice. Yeah, I think a few people asked why kind of that's the worst piece of content you have out there. So I think it's we should fix that ASAP.
Yeah. Well, another very informative episode.
Hopefully.
We have a Shopify master in-house, so we're quite pumped and positive about the success of the platform. I can code a little bit, so that should be fine.
Just a little. Yeah. But if anyone has any suggestions, just drop them down.
Drop us a comment. Also, if you enjoyed this video, if you found some kind of value in it, we would really appreciate a like, a heart, basically your love and support. Share it with your friends. If you know someone who is starting an e-commerce store and are thinking of probably building it themselves, or paying programmers thousands of euros to build a website where they can sell their goods, just send them this video. Shopify is by far the most popular platform, and it's really cost effective and easy to use. Bye. Testing Shopify vlog.
Shopify rules.